Okay, so you could probably hear my little air pump down there. Real sorry for that. But this is going to be a video. So this is a Ford Triton engine we're working on. Same one that I was doing the timing chains on earlier this week. And now we're fighting with spark plugs on it. So these plugs, brand new. They look like this one on the box here. I actually got one I can pull out. So this is one of these spark plugs that go in there. Now what happens on these is they don't come out with the whole spark plug. Like this one right here, the end of it broke off. So what you need to do when you do this is you'll use a tool like this one right here. So this is designed for removing these. So what this thing does is this thing threads in the hole of the spark plug. You can see it's the same size, but it threads in the hole of the spark plug. And what you do is you use this push pin right here and you tighten this thing down. And as you do that, this little pin protrudes and it pushes all the ceramic out of this end of the plug right here. And then what it allows you to do is you attach this guy to it, and what you do is you thread this in to the plug. It's got left-handed threads, and then they give you a left-handed nut. You put this collar inside the spark plug hole. You put this collar inside the spark plug hole like so. And then depending on how high it is or how low it is, they give you a couple of these nylon gaskets that are real nice. But this is a left-handed nut. And you just kind of thread this on after you get your tool threaded in. And what it does is it pulls the spark plug out of the hole. But it's a pretty neat little thing. If you work on V8s, you'll need one of these. I bought mine through Matco. I'll be honest with you, you can probably get these at the auto parts store now, but at the time when I bought it, the only place I could get one like this style was Matco. Napa used to sell one with the glue sticks. I don't know if they still do. Snap-on had their own version of it as well, but this one was the one that everybody said to get. And in the, I would say 11 years I've owned this tool, I've had to use it now twice. The first time being on this truck and this time being on the last cylinder. So I just wanted to make a video of this and share this information. See you guys later. Okay, so we've got another one of these plugs that came out like this. So we're going to demonstrate how to use the tool. So this is our tool, and the one that broke off is number one here. So we're going to pull the screw out. We're going to set that aside in an area where it won't fall. We're going to thread our, now that we got the spark plug moved, we're going to thread it in. There's a 3/4 socket, which is what I've already got on my ratchet right here. We're going to thread this thing down until it tightens up like a spark plug. You don't want to take any chances. It's tight. And now, what we're going to do is we're going to bottom this thing out. What the instructions say. We're going to tighten this one down. This one is a 1/2 inch. I don't have a 1/2 inch on me. And actually, I may have lied. I think it might be a 5/8. I think the other one's a 1/2 inch or a 7/16. So this one is a 5/8. So we're going to bottom this thing out. So there, it's starting to get hard. And it's going to crack a couple of times. Like it just did right there. That's breaking the ceramic. And it's throwing it through. And what it's actually doing is it's breaking the electrode on the end as well. There's a very little bit of ceramic that gets in there. But we're not bottomed out quite yet. We need to get this thing all the way bottomed out. Because when we do this, we want to be able to grab the end of it and pull it out without any problems. As you can see, this is the easier side of the motor to do. This is open. The reason I chose this one, I've actually had now 2 of these that have been broke. This is the 3rd one. But the other side of the motor with my shop lighting is kind of dark, so it doesn't make for a good video. So now we got it all the way bottomed out. The tool is actually coming out with it as I'm unscrewing it. And you can see in the end there, that's all ceramic dust. So now we got to insert the other part of it. So this is the collar. That's going to go in the hole first. That's what keeps the puller centered. And you may have to move your wiring harness out of the way, like I'm doing right now. There we go. Wiring harness moved. Now we're going to tighten. See, this has got kind of a screw end on here, and it's reverse thread. And we're going to reverse thread it into that, and that's going to tighten into the bottom of that spark plug housing that's broke. It may take a second to get it threaded in there, but you're going to want to put this thing in tight. If you don't get it in there tight, what will happen is it will actually pull out, and it won't pull out the plug. So now they give you these these nylon washers. It comes with 4 in the pack. I've been using 2, and I've had luck with that the last couple of times. I've actually had this tool in my box for the last almost 11 years. This is actually the first time I've ever had to use it, because I've always had pretty good luck with these, but this one has went... This engine has went an excessively long amount of time having not changed the spark plug. So what I'm going to do on this one, now that I got it in there tight, is I'm going to very slowly extract it. I'm only turning this like a 1/16 of a turn at a time, so I don't pull it out, because I don't want it to pull out. I'm kind of waiting in between my turns, because if it pulls out, I got to do it all over again and re-thread it again. I don't want to do that. I just want this thing to come out. So if I can apply pressure, and I can watch my nylon discs not collapse, I know that I don't have enough pressure on there, and I know that if I can keep moving it with about the same amount of pressure, that it is pulling up on that spark plug. And there, I just heard it go pop, so I know that it's pulling up. And there it went pop again, and again, and again, and now it's going to keep on pulling it up until finally we're going to get this thing extracted. And I can feel that it's getting a little bit easier here. And it's coming out. And there we have it. That's what it looks like when it comes out. And a little tidbit, or a tip, I'm going to give here. I'm going to hand cam this for a second, but you look, these are actually in a hole and they're recessed. And what happens is you can kind of see down there, let me get my light right, but you can kind of see down there, those get dirt and those get gunk in there. This one over here hasn't been done yet, but you can kind of see, let me get this wire out of the way, you can kind of see that the spark plug end is rusted. What will happen on these a lot of times on these Tritons, you can kind of see that rust spot in there. What you want to do is you want to take an air gun and blow these out real good, because otherwise you're not going to actually catch the spark plug itself when you put your ratchet on there. And that can cause problems. And then when you go to do your spark plugs, you'll have to have one of these fancy setups, which is a setup that's actually designed for removing stuck bolts. But if you look right here, these are in metric. They're graduated in metric and standard. This one's for 9/16. This one's for 3/4 or 16 millimeter 5/8. And they make larger ones too, but you have to use one of these in order to get it out at that point. And this is just barely going to fit in that. And what you want to hope is that the spark plug will actually cover that. Otherwise, you'll have to special order something off of Amazon. But these work great too for like strip nuts or strip bolts. But I just thought I'd share that.